everyone, I'm here with a little video of what decks I'm using for the month of March. So for March, if you get a reading from me or if you follow me on Patreon, I do weekly tarot scopes. These are the cards that you're probably going to see in these readings. First of all, or if you follow me on TikTok or Instagram for the daily tarot reading, this is the deck you're going to see on there. So we have here the Lenormand Tarot by Seer Thompson. I picked this deck because this deck has a lot of sort of both winter and spring energy to me. So it's a beautiful box. We've of course got our beautiful full color guidebook here, which is really, actually no, this one's black and white. Oh, I thought it was full color. I am wrong. It is black and white, but it is still very beautiful. You get full page of words, usually page and a half or so of information about each of the cards. So great little guidebook. I've got a ribbon here and this beautiful, beautiful deck. Oh, there's some at the bottom. It looks okay. All right. So I picked this because where I live, it is still very much winter in March. Spring doesn't usually come until April. So I like this because the colors, the pastels in here, the watercolors really remind me of spring, but all of this white space makes me think of winter. And right now, like March is very much a transition from winter going into spring, but it can be like, we'll have snow all of March, especially this year. So I really like this because it has that balance of the white space and the color. There's something really soft and gentle about this, but I find this deck really, it is a very clear reader. It has this clarity to it. I actually haven't worked with this one in a while, so it'll be kind of like getting to know an old friend again. Very beautiful. It's got a mix of, it's got a lot of animal energy in it, but there are people in here as well. And I really love the lines and the watercolor. Just really beautiful deck, I think, which will be great to work with as we move towards spring here. I know for most of you, it's probably March is spring. So it does, it's kind of balancing both like, that winter and spring type energy. That's beautiful. It makes me, look forward to when the birds come back, that's for sure. And then for my cartomancy deck, what I'm going to be working with for spring, for like March, April, that transition here into spring, I'm going to be working with the classic Lenormand. So I don't have the box for this anymore. I've got to find a bag or something to put it in. I like this because, again, it's got that sort of like lighter colors. It's got that springtime energy. It's a classic. It's just like a really nice cartomancy deck to work with. Your classic Lenormand type deck, because the way that I read tarot with Lenormand. I use the Lenormand to it sort of gives a little bit of extra information to the tarot card, a bit of extra energy. So that is the classic Lenormand. It's your straightforward sort of like 19th century style, Lenormand type deck, and I like that. I like the classics, I have to say. And you still got your original card that it's based on from the playing cards in here, so you have that piece of information if you want it. But it's straightforward, like things are clearly what they are. This is clearly a bear. This is clearly a tree. This is clearly mice. Like it's very straightforward, very clear to work with. And then I like to have an oracle deck to pair as well with the reading. And for this one, I thought I would pull out the Winter Seer Oracle. I did work with it in past months, but I felt like working with it again, and I thought it would be just perfect with the Line Strider. So again, this is Seer Thompson. Beautiful deck. This one, I believe, is full color. Yes. This is a great guidebook. This is so well written. Beautiful guidebook. Love it. And of course, we have our beautiful box here. And again, gotta zoom in a bit. There we go. Got our beautiful, beautiful watercolor and ink animals. Love this. I think it'll go so beautiful with the Line Strider Tarot. They'll couple so well together. Obviously it's the same artist, but I love animal decks. I'm a sucker for animal decks. This one too is like northern animals, so like North America, Northern Europe type animals. So these are all animals I am very familiar with. So quite like that. So I think these will pair together very well. And again, I always look forward to when the birds come back, which often isn't till April, but you know, sometimes you get some early stragglers here in March. Yes, you get some early scouts and things. So it's always nice to see, because then you know spring is coming. So there's the beautiful Winter Seer Oracle. I also couple usually my readings with usually like a god or goddess or angel deck. And for this month, I'm using the Ascended Masters deck. This is by Doreen Virtue, back when she was claiming to have a PhD and before she lost her mind. This deck, this was one of the ones she told people to get rid of, to burn, this and the goddess one. And I think these two are her best decks she ever made. This is a really wonderful deck. Has all sorts of different like gods and goddesses, angels and ascended masters in it. And I just think it is a really nice deck for March. It's got a nice balance between masculine and feminine. And I find March to be kind of like you're going from this transition from winter towards spring. And I like that balance. Like we have the equinox coming up, and so it's got this balance between these different things. So you've got here Lakshmi, Lady Nada, which is part of Theosophy. We've got Jesus in here. Krishna. You can see there's different artists that have worked on this. This doesn't bother me too much. It usually jars me, but I guess I'm used to this deck, so it doesn't. We've got Lou, Green Man, El Moria, is considered an Ascended Master, Ganesh. I won't even try to pronounce that. We've got White Terra, Amaterasu. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I hope so. Isis. They just have some clear and straightforward messages, and it's always nice to have a nice little hug at the end of a reading, and I feel like these decks often do that. You can see this deck has been used a lot. I've had it for a long time. See the gold gildings kind of wearing off, but that's okay. I miss the gold gildings on the Hay House decks, I have to say. And then for my spring affirmation deck, and this is not something I use for reading so much, it's more for myself personally, I have the Power Thought cards by Louise Hay. All the green and the flower on here just make me think of spring, and I could use some spring energy and some spring pick-me-ups. So it just has like some nice little affirmations. I'll usually pick one for the week to work with. So things like, I forgive myself. I'm open and receptive to new avenues of income. That's a good one. My life works beautifully. Everything I touch is a success. And then there's more on the back to expand on it. I love life. I trust the process of life. That can be hard sometimes. I now create a wonderful new job. I think a lot of us could use that. My future is glorious. I can release the past and forgive everyone. That's a tall order for a lot of us, I think. There is no blame. I am flexible and forgiving. So they're just like nice pick-me-up cards. I love there's a lot of greens and oranges and blues in here. Again, this like sort of, it's bringing this spring energy into the readings, into my life. I love it. So that's what I'm using for the month of March, kind of transitioning from the winter energy towards the spring energy. Again, these are what you'll see again in the readings if you get a reading from me, and on the Patreon with Taroscopes, but also as well with the card draws that I do on Instagram and TikTok every day if you want to follow me there. Again, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you're using this month. Do you have any of these decks? Do you like any of these decks? And you know, thank you to my patrons. You guys are the best. You help me to do all of this. So thank you so much. And as always, peace and love and rock and roll.